Okay, thank you for joining us. Mike DiMuccio here, continuing with Aligning with Success. Last week we had some very interesting interviews and some great feedback from everybody who watched. Two very different points of view of launching their businesses, both achieving silver, one in I believe it was their first month, and one in her fourth month. One using the traditional approach of contacting and inviting from a contact list of people they knew and felt would be compelled to look at NICAN as an opportunity, specifically as an opportunity. And the other was more of an influencer who was simply putting out a message through their TikTok to attract people to learn about this particular product, more of an affiliate program type of approach. And we're going to probably be learning much more about this. I'm actually going to be going out to Irvine in a couple of weeks to meet with NICAN for 5 days. A few of us from the NICAN Field Leadership Organization are going to be going out there and working and developing a better understanding of or packaging of NICAN in this new dynamic, this new context that I know affiliate marketing is going to be something that we're going to be discussing quite a bit of as an introductory approach for somebody who may not necessarily want to be a business builder, but may definitely want to be marketing the products. And then maybe through that discovery process, they decide to step into the shoes of a business builder. Anyway, that's more to come, but we had something tonight that I think should be underscored. So if you give me a second, I just want to share my screen if I can find it. Let's see. Sharing Google, but what page? Not that one. That one. Oh, shoot. These things always get in my way, these bars. Here we go. Module 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Cool. So how do you get to the new and exciting training platform, the We Academy training platform? So, I mean, we've needed something as a generic training for quite some time. And this provides a platform. It's not just what we see here on the screen and what I'm going to share with you, but it's a platform. It's now the starting point of a way for us to build a solid understanding of the business, and more specifically, to be able to offer new business leaders, new partners, a way for them to develop their entrepreneurial skills. So you get onto NICAN, you get to tools right here on the top right, click on training, then click on the We Academy. And so that'll come into the We Academy platform. And I'm already into the We Invite module. And I suggest you start exploring because it's really rich in content. And most important, if you're going to build NICAN as a business, duplication is absolutely paramount in building a network, which means it's important to know what we're duplicating. And if this is going to be a standard procedure going forward as of today, to introduce people to the We Academy and allow them the self-discovery process of educating themselves and then interfacing with them as your partner. This is really great information, great content, and you want to be familiar with it, how to use it. So this is just awesome. I'm so pleased that we finally have a platform that we can all point to and share with people. So hopefully you're as excited as I am about it. You'll get into the curriculum and start to develop your understanding of what's being offered. And don't be surprised if you learn a thing or two, especially those who are new listening to this playback. There's some really good content. One of the things that I'm very particular about is the We Invite module. I'm actually doing the introduction in this module. But as I mentioned in the introduction, I think this is perhaps one of the most important modules to learn, study, and master. I've never not said that. Contacting and inviting people into the journey of learning about NICAN is how it all begins. Every one of us were contacted and inviting to explore NICAN. And so that very step is the step that initiates someone's introduction and potential participation in ECAN. So it's something we want to get really good at and teach people to get really good at. And it's great to have literally a training on it. The only thing I've had until this point in time was a video that I would share with people called Contact and Invite on YouTube, but I'm very happy that they've included scripts, things like that. Because like I said, I think this is a skill set that you want to master, and it's something that we could all benefit from, having scripts and texts and so forth, examples and whatnot, to get better and better at it, since it's such a critical part to our business. So here we are. We have a new platform to educate and duplicate our new consultants, or would-be business builders. But most important to that as well is you now have this to add as a component to your presentations. So I may in fact find myself screen capturing the We Academy logo and inserting it somewhere in one of the presentations that I do, that you guys will do, because it's a selling feature. It's a selling point to say, not only do we have a business opportunity, but we have a path to educate you on how to actually apply yourself, and it's available to you and the people you bring into the business. So you're not the one who's burdened with the weight of having to know and teach. So it's really, really a great leveraging point, and leverage is the key to duplication. Let me switch to something else. If I, again, can find it, getting onto my, here we go. So I am now on my WhatsApp. Did you know that you can do WhatsApp on your computer? If you didn't know that, go WhatsApp online. Just go to Google search WhatsApp online or WhatsApp on your computer, and you can actually do WhatsApp on your computer. It's connected to my phone, and everything that's on my phone is here on my laptop, which is much more convenient if I'm actually on my laptop. I wanted to just reference something here. I shared this week, or actually shared yesterday, I guess it was. Here it is. Some of you may have seen this, and if you haven't, just maybe a quick glance here. Did everybody see this?
Yeah.
It is, sorry, Mary Ellen, it is it's a screen capture of the number of people that enrolled in the Good Vibrations organization last month. It comes from the dashboard when we log into my NICAN, and it has last month group sponsoring, and it has the number and whatnot. So I wanted to share this because as I was teaching the French group a little bit earlier tonight, there's a concept in this it's embedded, it's implied, and I'll tell you why it all sort of came out this way. There was a video recently put on the chat by Barb Satterwhite, her story of over the weekend, how she hurt her head and she had the NICAN power chips and the sleep mask to put over her bruise, and essentially the bruise never actually came about. So just a great story, but the point that was made was how great it is to be able to have this magic in our pocket. And then there was some comments about that. Yeah, isn't it so? It's so wonderful that we have this magic in our pocket. And I thought to myself, yeah, it's great for us. What about the millions of people who don't even know this exists? And so I was like, it was almost like an angst. And I was, now this weekend, earlier in the weekend, I was planting. I have a little garden in the back and got all the stuff and started doing the planting. So I was in farmer Mike mode, thinking about planting, thinking about sowing seeds. And so that's why I wrote what I wrote here. And that was last month, 1,303 members joined. I'm just going to read it. Last month, 1,303 new members joined the Good Vibrations Network, 3 of them by me personally. This is the power of leverage. From this, some will just be happy to be a customer of our, quote, magic products. Some will share with a few friends and family about it. Some will learn about the power of leverage and begin the journey of building their own network. Some will go on to build huge teams that grow by over 1,000 a month themselves. All this is made possible because of the efforts of those who sowed seeds, the seeds that contributed to last month's growth. Each new day and every month affords us the opportunity to be of service and sow new seeds. Thanks to Niken, this possibility can multiply our impact beyond our personal limitations. Thanks to the element of leverage, the harvest can be plentiful. So start sowing and keep sowing. We have 9,950,000 to go as our goal for 2025 of the 10 million, of course. So the idea here is, when a farmer plants a plant or sows some seed, they don't expect seeds in return. They expect a harvest. And the harvest is usually quite bountiful compared to the seeds or the plants that they put in the ground. For instance, last year, my neighbor was the one who put the seeds last year for, cucumbers. And we were overwhelmed by cucumbers last season. And I'm talking cucumbers literally, and I'm not exaggerating, the size of my forearm. I couldn't believe this. We must have had about 40 or 50 cucumbers the size of my forearm in a tiny plot, like 10 feet by 10 feet. It was insane. And that's the point. The point is, had he not planted those seeds, there would not have been a harvest. And sometimes the harvest is more bountiful than you can even imagine. The year before, we had virtually no cucumbers. They just didn't take. And for whatever reason, last year it exploded. But the process was the same. Sow the seeds, water the garden, till the soil, and that's what we're supposed to be doing in our business, in our Niken business. The difference about this business and typical businesses is that we actually have the advantage of the law of the harvest working for us because of the leveraging possibility. For instance, this We Academy. You now have an education by the best in the business to leverage, to share with people, and they can learn as they go and learn on their own, which allows you the freedom of time, but also the expertise to be able to share with somebody, not actually necessarily having it yourself. That's leverage. And it's the power of leverage that makes it possible for us to take our Niken business and create an incredible harvest. And of course, a harvest like the one I did last month, 1,303 people, is the harvest of sowing seeds in previous months, or even the month previous, or maybe even the same month. The point is, there were seeds sown and 1,303 products or produce came from that harvest in a different variety of ways. Some are fruit that you'll enjoy for a day, but some are seeds themselves that will plant more seeds and result in a harvest yet to come. Of those 1,303 people that joined my network last month, a percentage of those people are going to plant some seeds. And that means another bounty. And so that's the beauty of this business that I think needs to really be emphasized, is that this is the law of the harvest. This business employs leverage, and that's the key to having a bountiful harvest. Sue, you have your hand up.
I just want to know what the Good Vibrations Network is.
It's the name of my company.
Okay.
It's the name of my distributorship, Good Vibrations International.
Perfect.
That's a lesson, by the way, like that's lesson 101 from Mike DiMuccio. Give your business a name. Give your business a name, like literally. Give your business a name. It's not you. You are not your business. Those 1,303 people, it's not me. It's 1,303 people, not me. But they're part of my business. So give your business a name so that you can start to identify your business as something separate and apart from you, that you're creating, that you're building, that you're contributing to. I think that is so fundamental in terms of developing the correct mindset for building a business, is give it a name. And when you give it a name, then you start to identify yourself as the person responsible to that business, the decision maker for that business as the CEO or the president. But that business itself is the entity that you're growing. And as you grow that business to a level where its output is greater than its input, now you're reaping the harvest. And again, as we pointed out, in our particular case, it's not a linear business. We don't have a linear business. It's not a traditional business. If you enroll other people, if you just sell the products, then it is a traditional business. But if you end up enrolling other people and then teaching them what you've learned as to how to enroll people, it's seeds that have seeds in them, planting more seeds. And that creates an ongoing bounty. That's the key, that kernel of an idea that makes this business unlike anything else I've ever seen. And while there may be people who find, maybe affiliate marketing, things like that, low-hanging fruit, they don't last. Affiliate marketers, they don't last. They'll promote a product for 15 minutes and that's it. Affiliate marketing is just the front. The real business is people. People is our business, not products. And so learning the benefits and how to teach leverage and duplication and this education of how to do that is really critical. So we could belabor this point, but I think we've been a network for a very long time that has been focused on products and retail. And that was by design. That wasn't an accident. That was the direction that we were being taken by those directing the ship. But with our new CEO and a new vision, I should say a reformatted vision because it's closer in line with the vision of the original founder, the foundation of Nikken. Nikken was founded as an entrepreneurial opportunity. They discovered a product that served a great value and a great purpose, but it wasn't driven by the product to start the business. It was driven by the need for an income to start the business. And the product then filled the shoes that it needed to fill to make the business viable. And that's no different today. So as much as we are in love with our products, I would like for this network to become very enamored, like I am, with the network, with the people in the network, with the concept of building out the network and having more people join us and experiencing your 1,000 people joining your organization in a month's time. I just want to get some feedback because I'm curious to know, how does me publishing that number affect you? How does it make you feel? Like, how did you interpret it?
I'm struck by the notion that of the 1,303, you were personally responsible for 3. And it's hard at the beginning to imagine that duplication and that growth, but it's very reassuring for people who think that the prospect of building a business that will bring in thousands of dollars a month income, really, you don't have to recruit all the people. You really don't. And I've heard that, and I believe it, but that is just such a clear example. It's very reassuring and inspiring.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good. Anyone else? Yeah, Lynn?
What struck me, Mike, is that it's possible. I know it took a while, but that's a huge number for me to comprehend. And I heard you say before, you don't know all of those people. So I would like to say, oh my God, isn't that incredible? Out of all those people, but it's not just you, it's what you've established a while ago. And that's that 100-year-old tree that has such strong roots, and you don't know where the new branches are coming from. So it really was a possibility in my head for what I've seen.
I like the image of an apple tree or an orange tree, particularly an apple tree, because there are seeds in the apples. So every season there's a harvest, and some of those apples fall to the ground, and there's seeds in those apples, and they can actually create seedlings, more trees. Some of those trees can take root, and then pretty soon you have what's called an orchard, right? You've got an apple orchard, and you're producing bushels and bushels and bushels of apples that you have to literally give them away. You've got so much coming. And that's the law of the harvest. This is God's law. This is not Mike DiMuccio's law or network marketing's law. It's just simply the nature of reality. And what we want to do is we want to be in alignment with that. We want to be abundant. We want to be in alignment with that concept. And so, yeah, Lynn and Mary Ellen, it's not about us. It's not about getting in the way of anything. It's about simply sowing those seeds. You keep sowing those seeds and showing people the beauty of what this farming project is all about. And of course, as people start to explore the products and they start to receive the benefits of the products, all that fills in the blanks. All that is reinforcement. It's like the concrete that, or the cement that holds the building blocks together is the products. And I would add, in a network marketing environment, you have to have events, live events, especially, right now we're doing mostly Zoom, but hopefully soon you'll be doing some live events like I'm doing now with some consistency in Quebec. Live events is critical to community. Live events is critical to community. And building a network is about building a community. So live events and community are synonymous, and network marketing relies on it. And so, as I mentioned, this fad of people joining opportunities to plug a product for 15 minutes on their social media or whatever, these people are not invested in a future. They're not invested in building a real business. The people who are invested in building a business, they take time to do. They really invest in people. They invest in their education. They invest in learning the skills that are applicable in that particular thing. I'll give an example. My son was over yesterday, and he was just back from LA. He flew in Saturday in time for my nephew's confirmation. And normally he doesn't live in LA, but now he's been living in LA with my other nephew, who's the singer. And they've all been together. They've been living together. My two nephews, the band, and my son, they're just hanging out and they're having a great time, but they're being incredibly productive. I mean, very productive. And I don't know anybody who works as hard as my son on what he's doing. He's got 5.2 something million followers. He's making a killing. And he works his brand, his business, what he's doing every single day, even weekends. Like he is always thinking about things, creating things, applying things. He came here because he's here for 2 weeks with all this film stuff already done, and now he's just going to be doing a bunch of editing. But it started one day. One day it started. He did a video, posted it. It took off, and then from that day, he did a video a day for 500 days. So yeah, 5.2 million followers don't happen just by accident. They happen because he kept sowing seeds, sowing seeds, sowing seeds, sowing seeds. Now, if you want him to do a little promo for something, it'll cost you about 20,000 US for like a 15-second thing. So, but he's earned that. He's earned that, but he had to go through that curve of sowing seeds every single day. And even to this day, he's still sowing those seeds because he actually has a goal. How many of you have a goal? He told me that next year he'll make $1 million. He's already got it in his head. He's already committed to that in his mind. And he works like somebody who expects to get $1 million. His work ethic is consistent with his vision, with his expectations, with his goals. I find a lot of people don't have any clue what the work ethic is in our business if they want to make big numbers. You know, when I launched Nikan back in the day, I worked, as we say, 8 till faint. I don't know what time I got up. I got up first thing in the morning, and I was talking to people. By 9 a.m., I was already busy with people. And I didn't go to bed until midnight, 1 o'clock. I don't even remember, doing whatever it is I could possibly do. And I did that every day, not some days. I was on a tear because I had a mission. I had a goal. But the goal was to change my life. The goal was to get myself out of the rat race. The goal was it's all or nothing, baby. It's like, I'm in, I'm all in, because this is literally my ticket out. That's how serious it was. It was serious as a heart attack for me. So when you look at my numbers, the reflection of that, it's just that, it's a reflection. And so your business, why I say give it a name, I had a name from the very beginning. I always have my business had a name. So I suggest that you consider, is your work ethic consistent with your expectations? And do you even have expectations that would inform your work ethic? That's pretty important, because again, it's a feel-good community, Nikan. It feels great to be on these calls. It feels great to get information and be inspired. It feels great to have a product demo and somebody experiences that thing. It's that hit of dopamine every time. It happened to me today. Today I had somebody fixing the caulking around my garage doors, did the demo on that person. They were supercharged. They went on the website, they saw the citrus, the J Greenzymes. I gave them 3 packets and said, try it out, tell me what you think. Like, he wasn't there for that, but I didn't lose the opportunity either to sow a seed. And that's how I had my 3 last month, and how I will always have more every month. Every month, my volume is around 3,000, 3,500 every month without me thinking about it. So it's because I have an orientation. I'm geared this way, and I don't have to be. I mean, clearly I don't have to be. With 1,300 people joining my network last month, I don't need to be doing it, but I do it because that's how I have identified my role in the business, is to sow seeds. I'm the sower of seeds. And if I don't do it, how can I ask anybody else to do it? And I want to get better at it all the time. That's why I'm always working on improving it. I'm always working on the content. I'm always working on brochures. I'm always working on PowerPoints. When have you seen me not do that? Most of you who've been around for a while. Why? Because I'm always looking to improve the situation for myself and for my team, for others. That's Kaizen. So the big bucks go to the people in accordance to the energy they put in. And it's not an accident. The law of the harvest is the law of the harvest. You sow the seeds. If you don't sow the seeds, you don't get the harvest. So we've got to become somebody who is oriented this way, where you have certain expectations of success in your business, a number, a dollar amount. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you can tell whether you're on track or not. And then you let that number inform you as to what is the work ethic that I should be providing my business, putting into my business to be worthy of that number based on my current level of worthiness. And I tell you this because I like what Dennis Williams said. So when he first got into the business, he said he was doing so much work and he wondered if this business was worth it for what he was earning. And then he went to another phase. And the phase was he was doing a lot of work, and all of a sudden he was starting to see the money that was in accordance to that kind of work. And then he got into the third phase where the harvest started to really come in. And then he was making so much more money than the work he was putting in. He was wondering if he was even worth it, the money. So that is the journey. That is literally the farmer's journey, right? At first, you till the soil, you do it's a hard lift, right? Then you plant the seeds. You don't know what's going to survive, what's not going to survive. You're watering, you're fertilizing, you're doing all this thing with the expectation there's going to be something at the end of the season. And then suddenly you start to see the sprouts come up and you start to see, okay, things are happening. Okay, it's exciting. Things are starting to happen. You still don't have the harvest. The harvest doesn't come until the season's done, till that plant is ready to produce fruit. So, but then when they have that harvest, that yield, it's not a seed. It's a harvest. It's a, bounty. So if we treat our business like that, if we understand that is the network marketing business, and people are our harvest, not products. Where there's people, there's products. That's automatic. It's like where there's people, they're breathing air. Where there's people, they're drinking water. Where there's people, they're going to sleep. Where there's people, they're eating. You know, where there's people, there's stress. Where there's people, there's pain. Where there's people, there, you know, like, so where there's people, there's the need. The focus has to be the people. It has to be bringing the people and getting somebody, being that somebody who is constantly nurturing your garden, sowing the seeds of your garden, and expecting. You must, though, you must expect the harvest. That's part of the game. You can't go and do this without an expectation. Therefore, setting goals becomes part of how you turn the expectation into something tangible that you can now allow that to inform you as to how you're going to conduct yourself. Make sense? It's really quite simple. There's only one thing I want to just remind you of, though. It's not a linear business. We have the advantage of leverage and compounding. And so if you do with consistency, linear, sowing seeds linearly, that's what you do. That's not what you're going to receive. You're not going to receive a linear harvest. It's going to be a compounding effect if you apply the tools. The tools are the business compensation plan. The tools are the Power Start. The tools are the We Academy. The tools are these calls. The tools are to get people to plug in. Write that word down. This is the most important thing we need to do if we're building a network. Get people plugged in. Get people plugged into the community. Get people plugged into the information. They will find their way. Get them plugged in. Anyway, that's my riff for tonight. You guys got some commentary, some feedback, some input? Please open up.
I'll say something, Mike. Thank you. This is really, really good. And I've been being real consistent with asking. And it's exciting to see the result from that. And so consistency, I think for the first time, I've been that consistent. So since February. So yeah, so I appreciate you being here. And I love that what you shared on the WhatsApp, because I'm understanding leverage much better. And so, yeah, good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jeannie.
Is there a possibility that, when people buy a product through affiliate marketing, we capture their information, that might be useful for people to do some of that in order to make contacts, follow up, and see whether there's more to, somebody who bought a product online might actually be looking for something more.
Not sure what the question is exactly, but is there a place for affiliate marketing in NICAN? Yes. How I would envision it is, let's say you pick a product. You don't do this with all the products. You don't sell the wellness home in affiliate marketing. You pick a product and you capture somebody's attention with that. So if you've been scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, you've come across commercials of a product, and their commercials are very compelling, and you might want to click on that to see, oh, where's this going? And they're leading you down this path to discovering this product. It's a product. So same thing, it would be something very specific in the NICAN repertoire that you would want to market. And then you would give people the opportunity to buy it. Now, every time you actually have somebody buy something, yeah, it's the starting point of a journey. It's their initiation into the NICAN wellness experience. Now, you're not going to go knocking back on their door and saying, hey, would you like a franchise with those fries? No, it might be, how do you like the product? Did you receive it? Have you used it? Let me give you some pointers on how you can use it and improve your expectations or whatever. And now you start this journey of cultivating a relationship with that person. And then, of course, that can lead to more discussion of other products, that can lead to other things. That's one way of doing affiliate marketing as a lead generation. But
Mhm.
affiliate
That's the word.
marketers,
Yeah.
but affiliate marketers themselves, let's say there's somebody who has a following of 5,000 people, they might just want to, they like a product and they just want a seamless way for them to get involved and just say, hey, I've been using this on my shoulder. I feel so much better, or I lost weight doing this, whatever it is. Go to this website, use my code, you get 15% off. And then that's real affiliate marketing. So I can see something like that being applied where they're not literally signing up a NECAN. They're not really a NECAN wellness consultant. They're another tier, another level of involvement on the outside where they might find some success with that. Example is this woman who did, 3 powerhouses. She sold 9 waterfalls with one TikTok. That reminds me of another gal who, I can't remember if it was Colombia or Mexico, but young girl, she had a furniture business and she did the same thing. She just put it out there to her audience about, I think it was the NECAN waterfall. And she was only looking to actually get the NECAN waterfall at a discount because NECAN was doing buy 3 or get 3 for the price of 2. And she knew she wanted one. She knew her mother would want one. So she just had to sell one more. And then she would be able to get it at a third the price, a reduced price. So she just put it out there and sold 29. So what do you call that? That's not a business builder. That's just somebody who's leveraging their network, their influence, and generating all of a sudden a check. Great. Let's have more of that, because now what we have is all these customers out there. And of course, that's the outer circle, a customer. And then that customer could be a repeat customer if they need replacement cartridges, which of course they do. And that could be the auto ship. And then that customer is now on your database, and that could be the next contact point would be, maybe a month or 2. And then now you have a way to generate relationships with your customers and turn some of those customers into active customers. What's an active customer? It's a customer that shares with other people. And if there's an affiliate marketing program, they could do that without having to sign up. So these are tools that we can move into that will help us accelerate, go viral much faster. I'm going to be working this. I'm going to have that conversation in Irvine when I go down this month. So these are all possibilities. We don't have to wait for them. We already have that. So what do we have? Our version of an affiliate marketing program right now is the Powerhouse. That's kind of our version of it, because a person can enroll in NECAN and use the Powerhouse, use that one link that they send out to people. That's kind of their special code link, that when that person uses that link, they get a discount, or they get essentially free shipping, which is their discount. And that person's generating an income, a good income, from just the marketing of that waterfall. So it's a very focused product line. It's a very specific message. Your target audience is a very particular audience. That's our sort of our equivalent affiliate marketing, our sort of our first stab at it. Great program. Anyone else have anything to share before we wrap up? Want to give you a heads up. There is a live event coming up. Mary Ellen, when's the live event in your neck of the woods?
It is happening Saturday and Sunday. It is NECAN's Humans Being More. And we would love to have you join us. You can order your ticket to the event, or you can, sign up for it online with NECAN, or you can phone NECAN. It's happening at the Ramada Inn in Kelowna, and the weather is going to be gorgeous. I think it's going to be a lovely, lovely time to be here. And there's Jeff Isom will be coming. So if you haven't been to Humans Being More, it's foundational to developing the kind of goal setting and self-confidence. If you have been, a checkup from the neck up is always a good thing. So
let me jump in on this, Mary Ellen. 'Cause
Sure.
what you just said is addressing one side of the conversation, and that's the point of view of the user. However, we have business builders on the call. So as a business builder, you want to be the leverager, the person who leverages. So how can you get off this call and think about how can I leverage the event in Kelowna, BC? That's an opportunity for me to introduce somebody to the sort of our golden opportunity, the humans being more. How can I leverage that? Who do I know in driving distance of Kelowna, BC, that I can pick up the phone and say, there's something going on in your neck of the woods. And seems to me last time we talked, you needed a checkup from the neck up. So I'm going to make this recommendation for you. Highly recommend. I'll send you the information. I want you to tell me if you're willing to take the weekend off and give yourself that benefit. So that's leverage. Leverage is, forget about you going to it. How many people do you know you can send to it? Leverage the event. You might not even be able to go to it physically or whatever, but you may know somebody. So this is now switching our thinking from the user, the consumer mindset, to the business builder mindset, which is, how do I leverage this thing? It's a thing, and it really matters in our business. We know this. We know how it matters. Mary Ellen just reminded us of what it feels like to have been through it. We know this could matter to somebody. How do we get somebody into those seats? That's one. You can reach Mary Ellen. If you don't know how to get a hold of her, get a hold of me and I'll get you in touch with her. But as she said, you can buy the tickets, or they can buy the tickets on my Nikan. The other event that I want to point out.
And thank you very much for that lesson, Mike. You are absolutely right.
My pleasure. Thank you. The other event that I want you to be aware of is an event that I'm going to be at in Montreal. So that's coming up July 8th in Laval. And if you have somebody that you'd like to have anywhere in the driving distance of Montreal, and I've had people come from upstate New York, I've had people come from that region to get to an event in Quebec if they knew I was presenting. So think of a 5-hour radius. That's how I usually look at these events. 5 hours to spend a day with myself and the team there and learn about Nikan, learn about the business, how to apply it. I'm going to be doing a training as well. So that's July 8th. You can reach out to Leo on how you can get attended there. So, or how your team can leverage that. So let your team as well know about this, because they may know somebody. And that's how you do it, guys. We sow seeds. We just drop these ideas and follow them through. Who do you know? Who do you know in the Montreal area? Like, you guys could get off this call tonight and a name pops up in your head while you're going to sleep tonight, or when you're in the shower tomorrow morning. And the next thing you know, you've got somebody going to one of these events, and you have now sown the seeds to your business. So this is how we've got to get better at our thinking process. Think more like the farmer. Think more like sowing the seeds. Outflow, outflow, outflow. Something Bob Proctor taught me a long, long time ago about the law of attraction. He used to say, I don't care. I used to say he's so generous with his time and energy. He was incredibly generous, this guy. And he would say, because it doesn't matter where I put my attention, energy returns to source. Your money might come from Nikan, but that's where it's coming from. But when you put energy out, the energy returns to source, and in this case, it's through Nikan. It could be through any number of ways. But he reminded me of that all the time. He would say, energy always returns to the source. So if you're the source of the energy comes to and through you, and you direct that energy out in a positive way. You're putting energy into the universe in a positive way. You're sowing seeds in a positive way. It must return to source. That's the law. So the only thing that is required as to how it returns, and this is from a little tiny green book called The Science of Getting Rich, you need to be clear about how you want this to look and feel when it returns. In other words, You give and you give and you give. It doesn't matter who you're doing, whether you're doing it to the person who's fixing your tire on your car, to whatever, you're the attendant that you just, interacted with at the grocery store. Give, outflow, positivity. It must return to source, and it will come to you through whatever vehicle you've connected yourself to. And so how do you want this energy to flow back to you? It could be back to you in, you're such a great person. That's return. Accolades is a return of the energy. Or do you want it in dollars? In dollars, so tell the universe how much money. Like we create the filter through which we receive, but we give indefinitely, in every direction, effortlessly, always. So always focus on the output. This you only have to create once. How do you want it to come back at you? And then just keep focusing on the outflow, outflow, outflow. Sow those seeds, and it will return through the filter, but it'll always return to the source. That's it. That's the magic of the law of attraction. So it's a question of application. We do it all the time. Worry, see this thing, this lens? Worry is telling the universe how you want the energy to return to you. When you're worrying, it's a dress rehearsal for what you don't want. And so you're informing the universe as to how you want that energy to flow back to you through that filter. So worrying is very fruitless. It's the antithesis of what you want. You want to be expecting good things. My son's expecting good things. He will have good things. The 5.2 million he's got now is a consequence of what he was expecting before. I remember when he set his goal for the first million. He expected 1 million. He hit the 1 million. Now he's crossing millions and we don't even pay attention. It's just crazy. I think 10 million will be one of those things that he gets the awards from YouTube and whatever. Anyway, the point is, expect good things and give good things, and you will get what you want and be very happy and very fulfilled. And Nikan is a beautiful vehicle to leverage the law of the harvest. I'm going to call this talk tonight the law of the harvest.
That's
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Have yourselves a wonderful week.
Thank you, Mike. You have a
Thank
great
you.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Great call, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.